teachings of the Buddha, right?
Yeah.
When it's no self, what is it there now?
Huh?
It's no self, right? So what is it now?
I don't know.
What is there now? Is there anything now?
Yes.
Is there anything here and now? See, in order to understand Buddhism talk about the truth of whatever is there now.
Yeah.
Anything. So there's no one here, right?
Yeah.
No Ryan?
No.
And who is this?
Nina.
Is there Nina?
Yeah.
See, so what is Nina?
A human.
What do you take for Nina?
Huh?
Here's Nina.
Yeah.
And what is Nina? Here, what is it? Is it Nina?
Yeah.
So there is Nina.
Yeah.
In truth, the absolute truth. If there's nothing seen, can there be Nina?
No.
So what is seen, just is seen, can it be Nina?
No.
But who's here?
Nina.
So what's right and what's wrong? See? She smiles. But what is that?
She's.
If nothing's seen, no smiling,
Yeah.
no face, no Nina.
Yeah.
So is there Nina?
Yes.
Because why is Nina? It's seen.
Yeah.
If it's not seen, there's no Nina, right?
Yeah.
So what is very seen? Is that the eye or the hair or Nina?
Yeah. And you can observe and you can, but if you're blind, you can like hear her voice and.
The truth is that it's not blind now.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So this moment must be what is there is true. Because it's there, it's seen, right?
Yeah.
So can we say that what is seen is that which is seen? Only that which is seen. No idea. That is seen.
Yeah.
No idea that is Nina. Because without that which is seen as shape and form, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, can there be Nina? Blank.
No.
But when there is the eye, the ears, the tongue, that is Nina.
Yeah.
So is the eye Nina?
No.
Mm-hmm. But when they are together, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, so on, you have the idea of something as this one, not the other one. And this is Nina, and that is Anna. Yeah. See? Different eyes, ears. Yeah. At moment of thinking. But without thinking, it's just seen. So when a blind person can see in a moment, what is seen cannot be anything, just in a moment. Until many, many moments, it forms up something out of it.
Yeah.
So it's only the idea that there is Nina. But when you go out of this room, is there Nina over there?
Yeah.
See, so that is not taken for Nina, but taken for chairs, table, books, and so on, by thinking about different shapes and forms. Right or wrong?
Right.
Okay, and this is a teaching of the Buddha, to understand the absolute truth, that no one has thought about it at all. Because no understanding of a moment. But there are now how many moments?
lots of moments.
Right. Count it. Can you count it?
No.
Why not?
There's just... every second is a moment.
That's it. เก่งนะฮะ Very good.
Good job, Ryan.
Reasonable.
So, why did the Buddha teach this about the 6 doors and about moments, and shows that there's, in the ultimate sense, there's no one, there's just moments? Why did he teach that?
To know that, to understand...
Jin has probably got a better reply, but one reply is we want the Buddha explained what life is deeply, so that life can be understood. But another answer is also attachment attaches to a concept, to an idea of, like an idea of a person that we have, and we like this person and don't like another person.
Yeah.
But the ultimate realities are just moments, and the one who understands that won't get too angry, for example, if someone says, Ryan, you're lazy. Yeah? But if you understand it's just sound, without thinking this person told me, Ryan, that I'm lazy, if you see it's just sound, there can be that level of understanding, would you be angry to know that it's just sound in that case? No. So I'm sure Ajahn Sujin's got a much clearer answer there.
How old is he?
9.
9. Mm-hmm. So Dhamma can be understood.
Yeah, he's very, very keen. It's unusual how keen he is.
Mm-hmm.
He's always asking me to tell him more.
I see.
More than I can explain. He's always
see.
asking all the time.
Unexpected.
Yeah, totally.
No one thought about it at all. That it is possible for any accumulation at what age it doesn't matter.
I've been very surprised. Out of all the children, he's the one that's so interested. Yeah.
And what about the other 2?
Anna's only 3, so a little bit early.
I see.
Nina's interested too. She likes the stories.
I see.
Yeah, so we'll see how she goes later.
Yeah. And they are listening. See, while Brian talk about Dhamma. Yeah.
Can I do my question now?
Please. Another question from her. How old are you?
7.
7. Okay.
How was Earth made? How was Earth made? Like, how was Earth made?
Where is the point? Where is it? You're talking about Earth, right?
Yes.
And where is it? And what is Earth?
Earth is a planet where creatures and humans live. And I was wondering, how was Earth made? Who made it?
Are you on the Earth?
Yeah.
Earth?
Yeah.
Okay. Touch it. Are you touching the Earth?
Yeah.
What is the characteristic? Is it sweet, the Earth?
Not tasty.
Can it be smelled?
What?
Can it be smelled? Can you smell it?
Yeah.
Please smell the Earth. That's it. See, there is something hard to be smelled, but the hardness is not the smell. See, it's so very, very complex, because you see that we use the word Earth, it seems like everyone understands it. But in truth, just the idea is it Earth here, touch it, see. And what is the truth of it? Touch it. The truth that this is also Earth, touch it. Is there anything appear?
Yes.
Touch what?
Air.
Earth. Or is the word, is the Earth sweet?
Yes.
Touch it. Is it sweet? Really?
Or is it just hard?
It's not in your mouth. So it cannot be sweet.
Yes.
Only what is there in the mouth? That which is sweet or bitter or very salty is there appearing. But when it's not in the mouth, Can you touch it and know that it's sweet?
Yes.
Not true yet. Touch it again and again and again. Touch. What is there? Which is touched? What is touched? Touch it. What is touched? Touch it. What is touched? No, I cannot see the water.
Just a touch. Can you see touch?
No.
No, but what is the feeling when it's touch?
What you say that it's hard when it's touched.
Yeah, but inside there's really soft things.
Anytime, sometimes it's soft and sometimes it's hard. You cannot make it hard or soft. It's already hard when it's touched. And
Yes.
soft, no one makes it to be
Yes.
touched. And is it true?
Yes.
Keep on. The truth can be known at moment of touching
Okay.
and at moment of seeing. Is it true?
Yes.
What is seeing?
Seeing is from your eyes, so you can see what really happens and see what not happens.
Now, what is seeing?
Seeing is seeing.
What do you see?
Sometimes touch.
My sister.
Huh?
I see
Really?
yes.
Really?
No, the earth.
Without any color at all, can it be Anna? Without black or black, can that be Anna?
So are you seeing one colour or many colours?
Many colors.
So can many color be Anna?
Yes.
So this is many colors too.
Yes.
Can this be Anna?
Maybe.
To be truthful, different from that, different color too, different color, right?
Yes.
You think that it's the same color, but in truth, different ones all the time. From this to that, from that to this, and so on. Different color from moment to moment. Cannot be the same moment at all. That's why learn to understand the truth. That's all. Just understand what is the truth, the absolute truth. Can seeing be hearing? Can seeing hear?
Yes.
Seeing now.
Yes.
Can it hear?
Yes.
At moment of hearing, that can the hearing see anything?
No.
See. So hearing hears, right?
Yes.
And seeing sees.
Yes.
Is it you who see?
No.
So who sees? What sees?
Many animals, creatures, and living humans.
Now, that is seen. And seeing sees it, right?
Yes.
Can hearing see it?
No.
So can you see it?
No.
What sees?
And what's Dhamma anatomy?
Those things are not self.
Right. So seeing is not self.
Yeah.
Seeing is not Nina. Seeing is just an element. It's just a phenomenon.
What does all self or not self mean?
All things are not self.
What's that mean?
Mm-hmm.
What's that mean?
Okay. Ask her attention to.
What's it mean? All things are not self.
All things are not self, or Dhamma anatomy.
What's it mean?
There are many things.
Yeah.
Each one is different.
Yeah.
And is each one self.
No.
So no matter how many things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So everything's not same. So that's what is it. So you can't control your feelings like in one feeling. So like that. Is it like that?
Just a moment ago, what do you feel?
I feel the time was very short and
Is that feeling now?
no.
Really?
Different feeling, right?
Yeah, a different feeling.
So there must be feeling right now.
Huh?
There must be a kind of feeling right now.
Yeah.
And now, what kind of feeling is there? Different ones from just a moment ago or the same?
Like sweating and excited, but same at this time.
He's saying he feels a bit excited and nervous, yes. First time to have a big Dhamma discussion.
Small to feel that.
Really, yeah. So, like you were saying, Ryan, feelings change all the time. Yeah, different feelings. So the feeling 10 minutes ago has gone, and now there's a new feeling that's arisen. So, was the feeling 10 minutes ago, is that yourself?
No.
No. Is the feeling now yourself?
Yeah.
No. It's still just an element that arises, and that's gone, and now a new one arises. So that's what it means by Sabbe Dhamma Anatta, because everything's arising and ceasing, arising and passing away. So we can't say this happy feeling is Ryan, but the unhappy feeling is also Ryan, or no? It's just elements that, as you said, are not controllable. They arise by conditions. So you're right.
Is there any feeling right now different from just a moment ago?
So we are just talking about anatta. Ryan is discussing anatta too.
How do you control yourself? How do you control yourself?
Would you like to control?
Yes.
Okay. Is it delicious?
Yes.
Don't eat it. Control.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Today you don't have any food from now on. Control yourself not to have it.
Maybe.
Can you control seeing right now? Not to see?
No.
See. So what can you control?
I can control being a girl.
Everything cannot be controlled because it's there already. It has a reason. So how can you control that not to arise? And you can stop it from falling away, right?
Yes.
So now you know that you think that you can, but in truth it's possible. Impossible.
Yes.
From now on, nothing can be controlled. Is it true or false?
True.
Okay. Absolute truth?
Yes.
Okay. From now on, anytime, any moment, right?
Yes.
About when her father asked her to be good. Can she control that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
Have you heard of the decrease of the birth, like borning babies and that in Japan? I think because Japan's a good place and we're far in the Buddhism time, so people are getting a little worse than before.
So the population in Japan is decreasing. People are not having enough babies, and he thinks it's because maybe
The law, because of the law, or what?
or because people are doing less kusala, so they're not being born in such a nice place as Japan, because he thinks Japan's a very nice country to be born in, because we're far from the Buddha now.
What is more interesting to understand, that the answer or now?
The answer?
About now, can it be known? More than
I guess
that?
they're both pretty good.
Like what?
Like the answer and now. Like I talked before about the moments and...
So what is this moment?
About asking questions and...
What is the exact moment right now? What's exactly happening?
I'm trying to figure out what to say.
Mm-hmm. So thinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Yeah. So thinking is thinking real or not real?
Real.
Real, yeah.
What would you like to understand right now about what is there now, at this very moment? This moment?
I don't know. Just ask that tiny question about the decrease.
Because you see that you are thinking about question.
Yeah.
And what is the answer for what things? See? So very close thinking is thinking right now. What is it?
Yeah.
So close now, very close.
Yes.
Nothing is closer than that.
Huh?
Nothing is as close as that, thinking.
Yeah.
What is it? Not you or you.
Me?
You said that nothing can be taken for you.
Yeah, all things are not self.
Right.
So
if it's not you, what is it?
the moment.
Mm-hmm. So does thinking arise in a few moments?
Yeah. Does.
Mm-hmm. And that's you or not you?
Yeah.
It's just thinking.
Oh yeah. Forgot.
Okay. It's just thinking.
Huh?
It is just thinking, not you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What is thinking?
That's a good question, actually. What is?
You see that there is not just the reality which cannot experience anything like this. It cannot see, it cannot hear, right? But there is also a reality which arises to experience through eyes, sees, ears, hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching. Can you touch seeing?
No.
Because it doesn't have any shape or form at all. It's only that which arises to experience only. And that's the Pali word, it's Dhamma. Dhamma is the reality, the absolute reality. But there are so many different realities, and we can understand the difference between the main truth. One just arises but cannot experience anything at all, like this, hardness. It doesn't know who touched it. But there must be a reality which nobody can stop it arising at all. It is conditioned to arise, to experience, to see in a moment when there's the eye, and to hear the sound. Otherwise, without that which experiences it, it cannot be known that it's there. Hearing what? Sound is heard by hearing. Without hearing, can there be the understanding or knowing that there is sound as well? So, what is Ryan?
Rising is... I can never ask that question.
Because we are used to the word hearing, but we don't really know what hearing is. Is it real?
Yeah.
Hearing. Why do you say that it's real?
Because you can do it, and like everybody can do it.
Because now it hears.
Yeah.
What does it hear? What does hearing hear?
Hear other stuff, like
Now it hears it, what is heard.
your voice and what you're talking about.
My voice or what?
Before we say voice, What can we say?
Like talking and...
Yeah, or just sound.
Yeah, sound.
Yeah, hearing
Yeah.
hears sound.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So at the moment when you heard hearing hears sound, it's not just to be remembered, but to understand the truth that what is meant by hearing and seeing and thinking, they're different by the object which is experienced. That's why at moment of hearing, only sound is heard, no idea whose voice at all. Only sound is heard. Do you understand the meaning of the sound instantly?
No.
Because sound cannot understand the meaning.
Yeah.
It just arises to hear, that we call sound. Even we don't call it sound. Is it sound?
Yeah.
Change it into Thai. It's still that which is heard. And that is the absolute truth. No matter we don't use any term or any word at all, nobody can change its characteristic at all. So now, at moment of thinking that you heard my voice, is that hearing? At moment of thinking that you heard my voice, is that hearing?
Yes.
Shorter than it.
When there's hearing, at that moment, Ryan, there's no thinking. But as you said before, it's changing very fast. Yeah, moments are coming and going. So after the hearing, there will be thinking about what was heard. So that's why you will know that that's Ajahn Sujin speaking.
Yeah.
Because the thinking assists that. So, but it's these are different moments from the actual hearing.
That's why we say no one and no thing. Because hearing is hearing. It's conditioned to arise just to hear and then gone. Completely, absolutely. Never to return at all. So that is no I, the meaning of no I, because it's completely gone. Never to rise again.
Yeah.
Have confidence of no I, no self, no thing. Is there a thing? No I, but is there anything?
You said Sabe Dhamma Anatta, right?
Yeah.
All things are not self.
Yes.
But, so there's no self, but are there things?
Yes.
Yes, like seeing, hearing.
And
What else?
tasting.
Taste, yeah, what else?
And what was that? Hearing.
Hearing, yes.
And
Hardness,
is that like touch?
yeah, touch, yeah. That's another one. Is thinking real?
Yes.
Yes, thinking's another one.
And seeing.
Seeing, yeah. So there's many realities, but they're not self. They're conditioned to arise. And this is the nature of the world, the true nature of the world.
Yeah.
But because we are born with the idea of self, with this, we strongly cling to the idea of self. So we want to protect the self. We want to do things for the self, without realizing the actual nature of the world. That there's just moments.
Would you like to hear more questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there someone at moment of seeing?
Yes.
Consider all Dhammas. It means that one moment, one characteristic is one Dhamma, right? For example, seeing is Dhamma. Why? Because it's real.
Yeah.
So whenever it arises, it's a Dhamma. But if there's no conditions for its arising, can it arise? For example, no eye, no visible object impinge on the eye base. Can they be seeing right now?
No.
So, can seeing think?
No.
Can thinking see?
No.
So, at moment of hearing my voice, what is what?
Sound.
Sound is what? Not
hearing.
Sound is heard by hearing.
Yeah.
So hearing cannot know whose voice at all. It just hear and it's gone, right?
Yeah.
And why it's taken from my voice? That's why we learn to understand a Dhamma at a time. When we talk about all Dhammas, it means that there cannot be just one Dhamma. Many Dhammas, many different Dhammas.
Yeah.
So we learn to understand what is there right now and in life from moment to moment. Yeah. So now you understand the difference between the two kinds of categories of Dhamma. One arises to experience an object. No one can stop its function at all. Now it sees. Can you stop seeing not to see? Can you stop seeing?
No.
So no one can do anything because actually there's no one. And the Dhamma cannot be changed at all. That's why it's a Dhamma. So seeing is that which arises to experience an object. What else arises to experience the object?
Like
seeing.
Yeah. And tasting and hearing and all of those other Dhammas.
What experiences the object too? Not only seeing right now. Hearing. 6 ways to experience the object, right?
Yeah.
In life, not more than 6. Anytime that's seeing and hearing. Smelling too. Is there smelling now?
No.
Really?
Oh yeah. You smell air and
Cake.
Yeah.
At that moment, it experiences smell. If smelling does not arise at all, can there be smell to be smelled?
No.
No. That's why smelling is that which arises to experience only smell, right? 6th way, eyes, ears, and what else? It's there now. Eyes, ears.
Oh, a smell.
Nose and
thinking.
Yes, and
tasting and seeing. No, what? Did I already say that?
What's that, Nina?
she hints. 6 ways. Again, please. 1.
I already said just singing. Oh, singing.
Seeing. Hearing.
And tasting and thinking and hearing and smelling and seeing and... Is that all? Okay. I thought I already said that.
Eat it. And you know what is there. But now it does not appear to you what is that which is in the mouth. When it's not in the mouth, you cannot tell the taste.
Yeah.
So tasting. See,
Yeah.
the taste is there. And is there any reality which tastes it?
Sweet real?
Yes.
Yes. Is bitter real?
Yes.
Yes.
Why do you know that it's sweet?
Because I tasted before, sweet stuff before.
But you said no I. Right?
Oh yeah, I.
So no
tried
I. What is it? Which taste? Usually when we don't talk in terms of Dhamma, we understand. But when we talk in terms of Dhamma, it seems so very strange, no idea about it at all. But in truth, it's just as usual, tasting a reality which arises not to see, not to hear, but taste only through the tongue sense. If there's no sense at the tongue, it cannot experience the taste at all. So,
If you had no tongue, you wouldn't be able to know sweet
Yeah.
or sour or bitter. So what Ajahn Sujin was just saying there, very important, I think. Learning about Buddhism doesn't change anything. The realities are just the same as always. But there's the subtraction of the wrong view of self. People who are not Buddhist or haven't heard Dhamma always think there's a self doing everything. But there's no self in reality. There's just these different Dhammas. So it's just like life always was. But there's understanding of what's real and what is not real. So that's the difference. So the people who learn Buddhism are not different from anyone else.
Buddha,
Yeah.
who,
He made Buddhism.
and what is Buddhism?
Buddhism teaches all things are not self and moments and lots of other dhammas.
If no one realizes the truth, can he say about this?
No.
That's why Buddha is the enlightened one,
Yeah.
and he teaches about the truth. Always the teachings of the Buddha about what is there in life, from birth to death,
Yeah.
not understanding what is there at all until hearing about the truth of it of each moment. So, what is tasting? Again, like seeing, hearing. Is it real?
No.
Tasting.
Huh? Oh yeah. Tasting's real.
It's real. And remember, no one. It's just a moment of a reality arising by conditions to just taste the taste and then gone.
Yeah.
There's no tasting now, right?
Yeah.
At moment of tasting, is there seeing?
No.
Good. What is that when it's not seeing?
Huh?
At moment of tasting, there's no seeing. So what is there at moment of tasting?
Taste?
It is only tasting, right?
Yeah.
And then gone instantly. Do you realize the moment when it's gone?
No.
So do you realize the moment when it arises?
Yes.
Really? What arises now?
Seeing and
It has a reason already, right?
yeah.
So it's not the moment realizing the arising moment
Yeah.
of that reality. It's all there. Can it be known? It now arises, right?
Yeah.
But it's not known. How and why not?
It's not known. Why do you say that?
Because it's not moment of realizing the nimitta.
Not really known in the truest
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, because it's already there.
Yeah.
So the arising moment, the falling moment is not known.
So Ryan, for the really wise people,
Yeah.
the arahats, for example, they would know exactly what's arisen, what's fallen away. They know the moments very deeply. You or me, know things
No.
arise and pass away, but
Yeah.
it's very vague. It's not very clear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not as the arahant.
Not like the arahats, exactly. So what's the path to becoming an arahat then?
Learning more Buddhism, trying to know more Buddhism, ask more questions, and
Would you like to know Buddha, or would you like to understand this moment as it is? See, to be truthful to the truth is the beginning of understanding the truth and Buddha. To be truthful to the truth. Otherwise, one cannot realize the truth because one is not true to the truth. So true to the truth of this moment that it's not me or anyone at all. It's a reality that in Pali use the word Dhamma. Whatever is real is a Dhamma, not anyone at all. It doesn't belong to anyone either because it's gone instantly. So who's sitting now?
Is there a reality of sitting? A reality? No. Good.
Where are you? Where are you? Where's Nina a moment ago? She was sitting there, right?
yeah,
And where's Nina now?
there.
Excuse me, Anna.
Oh, Anna was sitting here.
And where's Anna now? So, Nina here is not more in it. Nina is not there anymore.
Yeah.
Where she is now? Where is she now?
There. Oh.
Anna. Whatever arises, does it fall away? Like the taste just a moment ago can never arise again.
No.
So,
You can do it again,
but not
the exact same.
right, not exact one. So, Anna sitting here and Anna there, the same Anna.
No.
Point, Ryan, that you said the tasting can arise again. And because of that, people think it's me tasting all the time. It's I tasted this, I tasted that, but each tasting moment is like it's a different, completely different one. Yeah? So even you're eating that cake, the taste of the cake, or the taste 1 minute ago is different
Yeah.
from the taste now.
Even though it tastes the same.
It tastes the same, almost the same.
Yeah.
Not 100%, but maybe 99.9% the same. But it's still different.
The same taste, just a moment ago. So the truth can be known any time, right?
Yeah.
Only when hearing about the truth. Otherwise, no one can think about it. Can you think it by yourself? About the truth? That it's gone,
Yeah.
never to return.
Yes.
So what Ajahn saying is, without the Buddha's teaching, people would never realise that the moment a minute ago has completely gone. The moment 10 seconds ago has completely gone. There's only this moment, and it's a new moment.
Just what you said a second ago is an old moment.
Yeah, and it's already gone.
Forever.
Forever. So can there be... Once you asked me about time travel, can time travel be true?
No.
Yeah. Because... Why? Because the moment, the past has gone completely. Yeah. We were watching a movie about... what was it? That
Terminator?
Arnold's Terminator, with Arnold Schwarzenegger travelling in time. And we asked the question about, is it possible to go back in the past? And it's impossible, because it's gone completely.
Do you have something to say?
So I'm thinking about when you said time travel is impossible. I'm just wondering if that's a fact or not. since we may not, is it possible that it could be done, but we just haven't, we don't have the knowledge or the wisdom or the ability to do it yet? And does that make it a fact that it's impossible? So.
Well, it's actually impossible because the moments arise and then they fall away completely. So although we think, people tend to think something from the past is there, there's actually nothing from the past. It's just this moment. You know? But it was conditioned by the past, but there's really nothing left. Even materiality, mentality and materiality, there's nothing left. And this is really hard to understand for most people, but that's what the Dhamma shows us. That there's actually nothing. It's gone. The moments fall away and they go. It's really deep and hard to see, I think, that point.
To that, I'm wondering that I've heard, the stories of people, including maybe the arahants or people with the power to even traveling, once they reach certain levels of chan or something, traveling with their chit, I don't know what's the English Bali term, with their mind, or
Chitta, maybe.
Yeah, chitta, and is that? Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm trying to think. Is it a fact that nothing, certain conditions, can ever happen again, or can be certain experiences can ever be replicated?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Please, Ajahn, interrupt me if I get it wrong. But so we remember what happened yesterday or last year, but that memory doesn't mean we can go back to last year. And same with the arahants or even the Buddha. They can see back through time what happened a long way back, aeons ago even. But it doesn't mean that what they're seeing is happening. It's just they're remembering the past in some difficult to understand way. I don't, I'm not saying, So it's like memory.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're saying that they can go back and see what happened, but doesn't mean that they can go back and change anything.
No.
Right.
No.
Physically.
Exactly. They can't.
Okay. If that,
Yeah.
that I'm.
They don't even.
So basically, like they have a better memory per se, right? It's not like they can go to that memory, right? That's what you're trying to.
No, because what I'm trying to say is, for example, when the Buddha said he can see what his student or what they went through, and how he knows that this is their karma or what's led them to this, it's because he could see the past. But it doesn't mean that he can visit the past.
Exactly.
That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying, yes.
Okay. But at the same time, I'm wondering, okay, that I agree with. I'm thinking in terms of how about that there are different realities, or in terms of even different dimensions. Do you believe in that? Certain even have you heard of the term multiverse?
I have, but
Yes. So, for example, there are parallel universes of even us existing with different paths and different realities.
I stick to what I read in the Tipitaka, basically. So it's not in the Tipitaka. It's not in my sphere of interest, basically. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm thinking in terms of that sense.
So then, how about? So when we say the, like where the devas are, that. So it's in the same reality, right? I don't mean reality in terms of that, but it's the same thing for them, right? Moments. So we just make a picture of it. But
The devas, same as us. Moments are arising and ceasing immediately. Even they say devas live for thousands of years. Doesn't matter. They still have this. Life is still one moment in reality. Yeah, and then a new moment and a new moment. Yeah. But conventionally, our conventional life is maybe 100 years, and then humans die, or less. But their conventional lifespan might be 1,000 or 100,000 years, and then they die. But in the ultimate sense, it's just moment by moment, just like now. Seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, thinking, and each moment gone immediately. Just like now.
Since we're on interesting topics, what then are spirits that people talk about? What are spirits?
As long as their understanding of what is there now, there must be endless doubt. All on and on and on about what we said, like Deva.
Yeah. Okay.
So doubt has to be absolutely eradicated only when that person has realized the Four Noble Truths. No doubt anymore about anything.
Sorry, I couldn't. I didn't understand the answer. So, what can you elaborate? Or you seem to understand.
Be questioning endlessly. Why? It's the now, that the reality is now, that we should be considering more so than, oh, what if the multiverse just now? I think that's more. For me, yeah, that's how I understand it. I don't know.
Do you think that doubt is endless when there's no understanding of the truth of this moment?
Yeah.
There must be doubt, even about now. What is the truth of this moment? Is that this moment? What is there? What is meant by a moment? Doubt about everything.
It will continue to go on until reality is. You look at the realities.
So, are you suggesting that we should stop questioning or doubting?
No, because no one can stop questioning when there is still doubt. When doubt is still there, more question and more question. So how can there be the end of doubt?
Until you reach enlightenment. Really. Right.
That's it. But what is meant by enlightenment, again, everything has to be clear, even right now. What is it?
Yes.
No one can answer, only the Buddha and his words.
Yes.
For example, is there anything now? And what is meant by now? If nothing arises at all, can there be now?
Yes.
Really, nothing arises. How can there be now? Now is the idea.
Now with nothingness is not.
Just now is idea. Of what?
Of this moment.
And different from previous moment, last moment.
Right.
Otherwise there cannot be now.
Right.
The past, the future, and now. But what are there?
What are there? Arising.
What arises? See, the endless question until there is the understanding. And after his enlightenment, Buddha said, all Dhammas are so very subtle. His word, he's the Buddha, but still he said, all Dhammas are very subtle. Why it's so subtle? Because it's not known. The moment ago and now and the future, which follows instantly, unknowingly all the time, from moment to moment, and doubt about everything. So is doubt real? Is doubt real? Do you doubt? Do you have any doubt?
Yeah, you're not sure. Is that real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. Like, how hard is it to make a world like Earth that all humans and animals that people need? How hard is that?
To
make a world like Earth.
I think he means how rare is it to have a place like Earth where humans can arise and animals.
Do you know what earth is?
Yes.
What is it?
And it's a place that people live and need, and so they can breathe air, water.
Yes, can you tell me about just one thing of earth?
That we could learn about Buddhism to learn the way of the life.
Many words. Buddhism, the Buddha, and the words. What's the answer? It's only thinking about, dreaming about, in your own way, your idea.
Yeah.
But what is it? Is there anything real?
Yes.
And what is the reality of the earth?
The Dhammas and the taste and hearing.
That's your idea. That's your idea. Your thinking.
Yeah.
So, but it's the truth. What is the truth of earth? Touch the earth. Touch the earth. Where's the earth? Okay. Can you make it arise?
No.
So, no matter what, no one can make it arise. It's conditioned. It has a reason. You dream about making something arise, but it has a reason, even such idea of thinking. So in truth, who can do anything? Because actually in truth, is there anyone, any who? Is there me?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
If it's not seen, can there be me? So what is seen? Only what is seen. Can it be me?
No.
So in truth, actually, what you take for me is only that which is seen, right?
Yeah.
Touch me. Is there I?
Huh?
Is it I who?
No, it's the touching.
So in truth, there are only different realities. No one and no thing either. No earth as you take for the whole earth. Only a moment of touching. Right? So is there dreaming to do something about earth anymore? Is there any dream to think about earth anymore? To do, see? It's only thinking, from hearing, remembering.
It seems, Ajahn, what you're suggesting is that for the wise person, what becomes interesting is the six sense doors, the seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, thinking, and so on. These six doors, that becomes more interesting than thinking about the earth or devas or other realms. Is that correct?
Because actually there has to be the right perfect understanding of each word of the Buddha.
Mm-hmm.
For example, there's nothing, and then there's something, and then nothing again. It means seeing does not arise. It hasn't arisen yet. But when it's there, it's gone. From nothing, it's something, and then nothing again. In truth, no matter what we take for earth, the whole world, the star, the realm of being, and so on, in truth, it's just a reality. And when we talk about just reality, who can imagine that it's not as what we take for this one, that one, this one, but so very tiny. For example, that which impinge on the eyebrows only can be seen.
Yes.
Nothing at the back can be
Yes.
seen at all.
Yes.
So the whole book cannot touch, cannot impinge on the eyebrows. So what is there? It's not different colors to be taken for a book or a thing. Only one reality which can impinge on the eye base, and actually it's gone very, very fast. No one can realize the moment when just one reality arising and falling away. But what can be experienced is only the nimitta of that.
Mm-hmm.
Only. So we don't realize that we live in the world of dreaming world all the time, dreaming about this and that, while it's gone completely. What appears is the succession of the experiencing different things to form up the idea of a book with many colors.
So this succession, this continuity, is also in the Visuddhi Margaret says this continuity that's happening so incredibly fast. This obscures the nature of the falling away, the arising and falling away, because it looks the same.
Yeah.
We see colour, and the colours don't seem to be falling away. They seem to remain.
Right.
But it's just an illusion.
Right. Otherwise, the idea of self cannot be absolutely eradicated. If it's not known as just the arising and falling away of even nimitta, and the truth of it, much tinier than that.
So some people, when they hear about this, they think they should concentrate to try to see that falling away, to try to catch it. But again, that's not the right way. It's
because they cannot understand the difference between concentration and right understanding. Yeah. Each one is so very different. It's very subtle too, than anyone can expect. It's not like the whole world full of people and things at all. At a moment of seeing, only seeing is there. The world is lost. No people, no things at all. Because right understanding with direct awareness is there, only on that object. So now in Tipitaka it says that the object right now does not appear well. See, just the word well, how much the understanding of the meaning of well. Just a little, tiny. And for example, that seeing, no shape, no form, no thing, no particle in it at all. Only that which no be taken for our world full of things, but only that which arises to experience, no shape, no form. And that is the absolute truth that can let go the idea of self. Otherwise, when not everything comes together, it's taken for something. Even seeing, what are there? Together we see, not known. Feeling is one. Memory, sanya, marks and remembers instantly. So we live in the world of ignorance, dreaming world. But when one wakes up, nothing, all gone, no one. That's the meaning, the fully understanding of no one and no thing. Because everything gone, never to arise again. No one can make anything arise because actually all are dhammas, different realities. Otherwise we don't know who's the Buddha and what is meant by the enlightened one. Enlightened is not just considering, thinking, but it's moment of realize the truth now. Because before it arises, it's not there. And when it arises, it falls away instantly, unexpectedly, beyond imagine.
So right understanding is the key.
Right.
Conditioned by hearing the Buddha's teachings, considering by conditions, as much as conditions allow. And sati. So it's not samadhi that's so important, but sati is satipatthana. Where does the sati come in exactly?
Because you see that there has to be the understanding of each reality as not one, but many different things. Like concentration, what does it mean? It arises with citta. We use the word citta, but it does mean that remember this word, that it arises and experiences an object. It's not that, but it's a reality. It's conditioned to arise. And as soon as it has performed its function, it's gone. So seeing just sees, that's all. But how many moments of seeing? Just one tiny. It cannot be taken for anything. Break everything up. What is there? Smaller than the dust a dust, see, smaller than that. And we can break up everything, and it's there. And this is so true, and it can be directly experienced. And when it's the panya which has awareness arising with it, and what is meant by sati, awareness, is not concentration, because concentration arises with each moment of experiencing an object, because it's one-pointedness of an object. That's why citta, the chief of experiencing an object, can experience only just one object at a time because of what we say concentration. But actually, it's a cetasika, mental factor, arising with citta. And citta just is the chief of experience, only the chief of experience. The cetasika, the mental factors which arises with it, cannot perform the function of citta. But since citta experiencing so well that we call it indriya, the chief of experience, cetasika, mental factors arising with citta, also experience the object, but not the chief of experiencing the characteristic of the object, but it has its characteristic to be attached instantly, and ignorance is there. How can we know ignorance? What is there now? See, ignorance is there. It cannot understand what is there, so we cannot know what is there. But when it's right understanding, it begins to consider, to attend to the characteristic of that little by little, to know the difference. For example, now, there is seeing, not only seeing, there must be the object which is seen. And the object which is seen cannot experience anything. And this is the difference between that which experience and that which cannot experience but is seen. Who knows? To know that that moment is conditioned to arise and fall away. The seeing cannot think. It cannot like or dislike. It cannot remember. It's just that which arises to experience that object clearly than the other mental factor which arises with it. That's all. So samadhi or concentration, what we say, is another reality.
Related to this and what we were saying about wise attention as well, wise consideration, it seems to me that's mostly thinking. And in the text they call thinking or vitakka the feet of the world. At the beginning level,
Thinking
it must be thinking about Dhamma in a sense.
Thinking is citta.
Citta.
But the other cetasika arising, memory.
Okay.
Otherwise, how can it think about that? And there must be phassa and manasikara.
Okay.
And everything there.
But don't they call vitakka the feet of the world?
Because you see that vitakka does not arise with the 10 vipaka citta, seeing, hearing.
Yeah.
See, because Dhamma condition the moment of its arising just to arise, experiences such object. And it does need more than 7 cetasikas.
Right.
So
right.
the karma condition citta and cetasika as vipaka together.
Yes.
No need for vitakka, just experience. And who can see that only experience cannot do anything at all.
Yeah.
It cannot perform any function, then doing this and that, cooking and so on, because it just sees right now. To begin to understand the nature of that which sees, only see. So it does need vitakka. But as soon as it has fallen away, it needs more cetasika to experience the object without seeing. Now, they're seeing very shortly, just in a moment, and the other moments arising, it needs vitakka to touch on that object, to experience that object, but not as well as seeing sees.
You can
That's why it's the foot from then on.
you can see why it's given a different jati. The different jatis are
Right.
very, very helpful in that sense. The
Right.
vipaka is a different jati from
To
akusala
know the
and
way it
kusala.
is, no one
Yeah.
can do anything.
Yeah.
Vipaka is vipaka.
Yes.
And why? Vitaka arises with ichita after vitaka, after the 10.
Ryan, did you understand that? I'll give you. You didn't listen much. Yes, it was a bit complicated. I'll give you just a brief little bit. Seeing has less mental factors associated with it.
What's a mental factor?
Mental factor in Pali is cetasika. But each moment of seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, thinking is different. And it's different in different ways. Like, chitta is always arising and passing, but some cetasikas are not present with every chitta. So when there's seeing, there's only 7 cetasikas. Is that right? 7, yes. 7 cetasikas. But when there's thinking, there can be many more cetasikas that come in. Well, that's just the way it is. Yeah? Because seeing is conditioned to arise by karma in the past. Okay? Yeah, actually thinking occurs a lot more than seeing because there's a long process of thinking, right? Yeah. And the process of thinking has more cetasikas associated with it than the moment of seeing or hearing. It's almost interesting, isn't it? But it's worth bringing attention to that sometimes, to see the difference between seeing and the thinking, or hearing and the thinking. When are good and bad deeds done? During the thinking process or during the seeing or hearing? If someone's doing something good or something bad, is it done during a thinking process or during the moment of seeing or hearing or tasting?
Seeing and hearing and tasting.
No. Seeing and hearing are vipaka, they're called vipaka. They're the result of past karma. But the moments of karma are done during the other moments, the thinking, well, we'll call them the thinking moments. They're called javana. Yeah. It's very interesting, Abhidhamma. Breaks down the world into moments in a very accurate way. And this breaks down the idea of self, so that one can understand what the Buddha meant by sabbe dhamma anatta and sabbe sankhara anicca. What's your favourite Buddhist story that I used to tell you?
Oh yeah, I know it. The evil queen.
She likes the Dhammapada story about the evil queen. Was it Queen Samitiva? Anyway, that she. You tell a story. Wait, tell a story before you go, and then you can go.
Forgot.
No, try. I know I told it a long time ago, but try to see what you remember. Just the beginning.
I remember a lot.
Okay, Ryan can tell me.
So, the evil queen, she tried to marry the Buddha but didn't, so she got mad, and then she finally got married by a king, and she was jealous of the number one queen, the number one wife. She was very kind and learned about Buddhism. So she did lots of ways to try to make her pretend king believe that the number one wife getting in trouble, so the king liked her.
I'll interrupt. Do you know that story, Ajahn, from the Dhammapada commentary, that the beautiful woman, beautiful young girl, she had a mother and father, and they were looking for a husband. They saw the Buddha, and they saw the Buddha's footprint, and the wife said, "No, this one is a special sort of footprint. He will not marry our daughter." But they tried anyway. They went and asked, and the Buddha said, "Why would I be interested in a skin bag full of bad smells and so on?" And the mother and father didn't get angry, but the girl got very angry about it. She thought, "Why would he say that about me?" You know. So she formed a grudge against the Buddha. The mother and father listened to the Buddha, became Sotapanna. Anyway, she married a king, but she was only the second wife, not the first wife. And she was extremely irritated with the other wife because the other wife was elevated above her and was a follower of the Buddha. So anyway, this evil queen finally, she was able to set fire to the palace where the good queen was staying, and her and 500 of her maids all died in the fire. But they all went to the Deva world because all of them were Sotapanna or near to it. And finally the evil queen met a very unfortunate end, and karma had its fearful results. And that's Nina's favourite story. You like that story, don't you, Nina?
Snow White? More than Snow White.
More than... Which one do you like, that one or Snow White?
The one just told in Buddhism.
The bit they do understand, it shows you how 7-year-olds became arahats in the Buddha's time, you know.
Yeah.
Because if there are other conditions, people can understand.
Good and bad, right? When it happens. And so are there such thing as good and bad?
There's akusala and kusala in the Abhidhamma or in the Buddha's teaching, and they are absolute realities. So in the Abhidhamma explains it very clearly, like there's a moment of seeing, then there'll be a process called the javana process, and then maybe a moment of hearing, or another moment of seeing, and then the javana process, which is longer than the brief moment of seeing or hearing. And the good or evil is done in the javana moments. Okay, so now there is seeing, now there is hearing, and in between all of those, there is these 17 moments of javana, and it's all happening very fast. But it's not just one process. It's not just one process of javana. There might be many, many processes of javana, where the akusala or kusala chittas happen. Yeah. So they're very true. They're very real.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, my next question would be that, but since we have no control over things, how do we have control over good and bad? Aren't they just conditions?
I'll be interested in what Ajahn says, but I think that's basically right. So because there is no me, remember, absolutely there's no me, but javana processes arise. There's either akusala or there's kusala. By hearing the Dhamma, there can be understanding, and that is condition 2. That's one of the conditions for kusala to arise. Yeah, it doesn't mean that someone can control it. There's no one there that's controlling it. But by hearing Dhamma, there may be more conditions for kusala to arise. I don't know, Ajahn, do you want to clarify that? Is that basically right?
I think that we talk in terms of I, but in truth there has to be the understanding of just one word at a time, so clear enough to study more about understanding what we are talking about. For example, we are talking about Dhamma, this word. Many people heard about this word, but what does it mean and what is it? They think in their own way about Dhamma. Some might say that it's the teachings of the Buddha, but who's the Buddha and what is meant by the Buddha and how to be Buddha? Because before becoming a Buddha, the person has been a Buddha yet. That's why just each word like Dhamma, what does it mean? Why he didn't say a book or a thing, sweet or hard, but he used the word Dhamma. So what is the meaning of Dhamma? Dhamma is real, otherwise we don't talk about that which is not there, real at all. So now is there Dhamma when there is the understanding. It is a reality because it's real. And how can we know that it's real? Because it's there now. Whatever is there now is so real because it's there. But what is the absolute truth of each one? Because usually in life it's taken for something all the time. And Buddha said about the truth, if nothing arises at all, is there a world? Impossible. Even the word world, we do not have the right understanding of what is the truth of what it's meant or what is there as a world. If nothing arises at all, is there a world? But just only one reality arises, that is a world. Because what we take now as the world of the sun, the moon, and the things, river, and people, and things, must arise. Otherwise, there's no world, no one, nothing at all. So whatever arises, just one. We talk about just one reality at a time because each one is different. So we talk about whatever arises, whatever appears, it has to arise. If it does not arise, it cannot be there at all. So now, everything now has a reason. Each one. We can break everything up, and many things like hardness or taste are there in just one bread or whatever is there. So now breaking the world up, only different realities, different ones, so very tiny. And what is meant by that which doesn't have any shape and form or hardness or any rupa? Rupa means the reality which is there, but it cannot experience anything. Like hardness, it doesn't know who touched it. Or the sound, see, without the Mahaputta Rupa, the four primary rupas, there cannot be any rupa, the sound, the taste. So we take it for the taste, but it's there with hardness. So we understand little by little about what is true in life, of what is there as it is. Each one which is true is a Dhamma. But there are two categories of two kinds of Dhamma. One arises and experiences an object. Whenever it arises, it has to experience. It doesn't have any shape, no form, no rupa at all with it. And rupa is what we mean by that which arises, but it cannot experience. And altogether, there are 20 kinds of rupa. But what is known in daily life is only 12. What is seen, 7, right? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and 3 objects of the body experienced. Hardness, softness, heat and cold, and pressure and motion in life. What can be known? What can experience? What can appear in life? Only 6 ways, one at a time. You travel from there to here. In truth, only 6 ways traveling, no matter where you are. Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and thinking about what is seen as something, someplace. So in truth, thinking conditioned by what is experienced, like it's seen, so we think about that which is seen now. See, at moment of seeing, there's thinking about the shape and form of that which is seen, or the smell or the taste of the food. So only 6 ways in life. And some moment, the reality which experiences an object does not experience anything through the 6 ways at all. For example, at moment of being asleep, sleeping, who are you? Where are you? Where are your friend, family, house? Nothing at all, no idea at all. And that is the same as the birth moment. It just conditioned to arise, to perform the function of being born, the first moment in life, and never be that function of citta anymore in life. Only once birth, and then only once death, a moment of death, a moment of birth. But between moment of birth and death, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and thinking, that's all. No matter in this world, in this plane, or in Deva, or anywhere at all, only 6 doorways. But there's more reality than that. But what appears has to be through 6 doorways. So just begin to understand what is there, as Buddha had enlightened the truth, and he's so very, very compassionate, because no one knows from eons and eons ago. And we have heard about the word ignorance. It's now at moment of seeing. Asava, very, very, very weak, not as strong as when we like something so much, but it's clinging to life and to I, because no understanding that it's just nama, that which experiences, and the rupa arising together as a being. So actually, no one, when we say this word, we have to know, when it's not no one, what is it? Otherwise, it has to be the latent tendency to take it for I, each moment of life. Because why? It experiences an object and no other person at all. So at that very moment, I see. If that is not moment of experiencing, there cannot be the idea of I see. But not understanding the truth that seeing is conditioned to arise, and it falls away. At moment of hearing, where's the seeing? So ignorance take it for permanent, it's always there. That's why to be truthful to the truth, what is real, what is there, only when it is experienced. Find yourself, find the I. No thing, no way, no one at all. Because it's that which sees, it's that which thinks, it's that which likes, it has its own characteristic. No one can make it arise at all. And this is the meaning of anatta. It's no, and atta is something or someone. Anatta. So all dhammas is anatta because it's not a book. A book is atta, something book. This is atta, something, something, something. But in truth, no atta at all. All are anatta, because in truth, what is experienced is gone.
So to sum it up, I guess to go back to the question that I asked Kun Robert and Kun Robert asked, and you said if we were talking about in terms of I, right? So are you saying that if not, we're not talking in terms of I, but we're talking in terms of Dhamma? There's no such thing as good and bad, right? Is that correct?
But
okay.
I who think, I who have such idea.
Okay.
That's why if Buddha taught about all kinds of realities, how many kind of mental factor or cetasika which arise and experience by its condition, its characteristic, and its function. For example, ignorance is not attachment, and attachment is not anger. Different ones, each one is different by conditions. Just in a moment and then gone. And that can be known from moment of hearing and considering until it's so confident about the truth. That's why it needs parami. If it's not firm enough, if not confidence enough, it cannot condition higher moment of experiencing the object well. Well means understanding the truth, because the truth is no one and no thing. Like there is a paper and we paint it. Mountain is there, house is there, dog is there. Take all out. Because that's only the paint, not the cloth. That is the idea of self coming in. After seeing, hearing, just 3 moments is there.
What's that metaphor again about painting?
Thinking about the truth that what we take for things, like when that which is seen is only that which is seen, like a paper or cloth, and then each moment of with dot put the paint on and paint it so there are dogs and cat and house and so on.
That's our normal way of conceptualizing. We're living in this world of painting this world
until no Robert. Only that which is seen.
Okay.
But it's true.
So stop the painting in a sense. Stop making this.
To understand the truth, that it's only the paint.
Yes.
It's not a house.
It's only a idea. It's not the reality. Yes.
Otherwise, how can we understand what is meant by Buddha, the enlightened one? After hearing the words, is it true? Can it be known? Otherwise, it's waste time when it cannot be known. But since just one moment of understanding, it can condition the next moment to be another moment in life, in lives eons and eons ago, and even this life. After seeing, ignorance is there, attachment is there, very weak. As Buddha told us about different degrees of all kinds of Dhamma. Otherwise, we don't know who's the Buddha, why is he the Buddha, why we pay respect to the Buddha, why we take him for refuge. Impossible, just the word. That's why among all the conditioned realities arising and falling away, right understanding is the most precious of all kinds of realities, because it can understand the truth at moment of hearing and considering.
Thank you, Ajahn.
So it's so true, very deep. As Buddha said, he took quite a long time to develop the understanding of what is there, why it's there, why it's different. There must be conditions for each moment to be different. But no one makes it arise because it's there already. It has arisen already.
Sorry, I go back to what I asked you a little bit, just to make sure I understand correctly. So the idea of good and bad is just when there's a concept of I involved, right? But that actually doesn't really exist in the world of Dhamma. They're just conditions, right?
But it's good, real. It's bad, real.
Yes.
So it's a Dhamma.
Yeah.
No one would like to be bad person.
Right.
But how come? By conditions.
By conditions, yes.
Everyone would like to have right understanding as Buddha.
Yes.
But what's the conditions for that? And Buddha shows the path, the 4 Ariya Satya, very, very deep. And people who listen to his word without careful considering at all, take it so easy, just go somewhere and do something. No understanding of what is there now. And ignorance is there in life from moment to moment. So Panya has to understand what is there now and any time by conditions until it's fully understanding of the truth and directly experience it. That's why there are 3 levels of the Buddha's teaching. Pariyatti is listening to the truth of what he taught, his teaching, and Patipatti, it conditioned moment of directly understanding not the word but the truth of what is there. And the last one is enlighten the truth, the arising and falling away by way of nimitta, because just one moment cannot be directly realized at all, by way of processes. after the birth moment, it's not the time to see yet. And for someone, even it's time to have the eye base, the rupa, which the object can impinge on it, that we call jakku, arupa, there. By kamma, who can condition the rupa, which is conditioned by kamma, it has to be kamma alone. For example, the rupa, many different, to be taken for different person, right? How come? The eye, see, blue or brown, the hair and so on, the shape of nose and so on, only by kamma. So there are conditions for the rupa to arise, by kamma, by citta, by uttu, by ahara. These are the teachings about the truth of life, to be realized that actually it cannot be taken for anything permanent at all. So short that it's not realized. Only Panya begin to understand the difference of each one. That now memories are reality. Sanya marks and remember that which is experienced. No matter sight or sound or smell or taste or touch. No one. So the root for understanding to develop, to grow, is confidence of the truth. Never change. The truth is now, and it can be known, but from hearing, considering, to conditioned moment of direct understanding of that, as one has studied or heard about, until it shows up as it is, stage by stage, one at a time, one characteristic. Otherwise, how can it appear well? Appear well is just not the word. After hearing about the truth and what is the meaning of appear well, it means that now whatever is that does not appear well. Beginning to understand what is the real world, the real meaning of what Buddha enlightened. Why it does not appear well? How can it be well? So many things at once. It seems like the seeing and sound together with thinking. Impossible to be known as it is, only just one at a time. To know that now there is not only seeing, there is memory of marking the object too, and also the feeling by way of 5 khandas. And what is khanda? It's not just to remember khanda is that and that, but to understand. Even without word, when we talk about Dhamma, just to understand. We don't mind about the word. If we don't know Pali enough, how can we know that it's translated rightly or wrongly, some words? But the truth is there for anyone to detect, to study, to search about the truth. Like that which is now appearing. See, cannot be taken for anything, but what takes it? Marks, remembering, takes that which appears so very rapidly as some shape and form. That's why we know instantly what's there. So how many moments of citta, the reality which is the chief of experiencing an object. So we understand the difference between citta and cetasikas. Because 2 kinds of Dhamma, one cannot experience the object is rupa Dhamma, and the one which experience the object is nama Dhamma. But there are 2 kinds of nama. One is the citta, the chief of experiencing the object, only experience directly, clearly, not in terms of understanding, but the object appears clear. The difference between the shade, the pink, the yellow, see, it's the object of seeing. It experienced clearly to be known. even the fake of the truth, diamond, jade, and so on, even the horizon, the sky, and the sea, the water, sea, can be known only by citta. And the cetasika experience that too, but by its function and characteristic, ignorance, not understanding what is there, that is seen only that which is seen. It does not know anything at all, and it is attached instantly of that which is there by its way. How can anyone stop attachment to that which is there, no matter what? Even some sound now, unexpected, appears. What is it? Is there attachment? What is it? Even it's not known as anything yet, but it's what is it? Unknowingly, it's there the way it is, and Buddha taught about each moment in procession from moment of birth on and on to death and on to next life. That's why there are three kinds of death. That temporarily, each moment, it dies because it does not arise again. Seeing just a moment ago, in life, in years and years life, never to arise again. So now, what is there in a moment never arise again. No matter it's so pleasant or so very unpleasant, never be the same. We dream for that to be there again and again. It's not the same. Never to arise again. And attachment is there, so much for that to arise again. But it can never be the same at all. So beginning to understand that actually it's not I or anything or anyone, what we take for father and mother, because they raise us, they do this for us, but in fact, in truth, citta and cetasikas.
So if we think father and mother just chittas and cetasikas, though, where's the respect and so on?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So Buddha knows what is what,
yes,
because of the quality, the goodness and of that person,
yes,
to be known as good friend or mother, father, all are dhammas. And that's the way to let go all kinds of evil or bad realities. No one can change, but right understanding can begin to be compassion, to have compassion for everyone. The same, living in the darkness, in the blind world and dream world, on and on, not knowing what is what at all, until time comes, little by little, to understand that nothing can be done, but right understanding can develop, enrooted at moment of understanding the truth. Be truthful to the truth. That is parami, to condition, to support one to attain the truth, to realize the truth. Realize the truth, see, touching now, gone. No one there at all. When it's just one moment at a time. And when we talk about one moment, it is a moment of split seconds. Because now, how many moments? As soon as one opens one's eyes, everything is there. How fast it is, the way it is. Nobody can change, but right understanding begin to understand what is what, little by little. That's why the path is so very subtle, because when we are not careful enough, we thought that there might be other way, go somewhere, try so hard. Impossible, because that is not understanding. And the ignorance can be let go only by understanding at that very moment of that object. And how many objects to be known? That's why there's the understanding of how long the development of right understanding takes. And without parami, impossible. Because when this moment is akusala, it cannot understand anything. But at moment of kusala, there is no akusala. That's why kusala clean up and develop on and on to the truth, to understand. Right, even just 19 years, but he can think a little. But more than just remember is to understand. So it's useless to remember the word, but to understand little by little, firmer and firmer only. And this is a very subtle way, because now it's parami at moment of understanding. And if there is the idea of I would like to do this in order to have more, it's not parami. It's the I lurking there deeply until Panya dig it down to see it. Because what appears is just the skin of the truth, arising and falling away. And only one, thinking of only one, what's the meaning, appears well. So right understanding only can understand what Buddha said, deeper and clearer. Because they take it so very easy, like appear well, we have to concentrate on it, so it appear well. That's not the truth. No understanding, so how can it appear well as it is, as no thing at all? And any word we used to learn from Abhidhamma or Tipitaka, it's there in life now. For example, khanda. In Thai, khan, but in Pali has to be khanda. What is it? See, a reality. We have to understand from one word, reality. What kind? There are two kinds of reality. One can experience the object and the other cannot. So that which cannot experience is rupa. So the arising of that kind of reality is rupa khanda. So khanda means the reality which is conditioned, arising and falling away. So there are how many kinds of rupa? In English, some might have wrong understanding by the word, think that all together are khanda, but not that at all. Any one arise is khanda because it's true, and it falls away. So each one arising and falling away is a khanda. That's why rupa khanda cannot be nama khanda. And altogether, Buddha taught about the 5 khandas by way of clinging. What we cling in life today, rupa, all kinds. From seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, just dream about these rupa in a day. On and on and on. So another word, upadana, clinging. That's why they come together as upadana khanda. So when there's the understanding, clinging to what? To what is there, which is rupa and nama, 5. And then there, because when we use the word 5, it includes other reality too. In what category it is? Rupa khanda, any kind of rupa. But nama, we cling to feeling so much in life. So feeling, cetasika, is a khanda, upadana, cling, object of clinging so much. So Buddha taught about the 5 khanda by way of upadana, to be reminded what is there as object of clinging. And it's there to be known, to be studied in order to let go the idea of self, to get closer to the truth, which is now, never to arise again.
But what about the ayatanas, if I can ask one? You said upadana khandas, the khandas that just show the clinging. What about the ayatana? Why did he teach by way of ayatana?
That's why we have to understand each word. They are dhammas.
Yes.
Ayatana is what is there meeting.
The meeting place, yeah.
Together.
Okay.
For example, at moment of seeing, without I and the object which impinges on it, and without cetasika and citta arise, it's not ayatana. So ayatana is the moment of citta experience an object. And it's so very, very subtle too.
Yes.
Because even neva sanya naya sanya yatana, see, Chitta and Cetasika arise together. It's there together. It's ayatana. That's why Chitta itself is Manayatana, and the Cetasika Dhamma Yatana.
And what's Rupa in that case?
Rupa Chakhayatana.
Oh,
at
okay,
moment of seeing.
the different
Yeah.
ayatana, yeah.
And Rupa Yatana. Yeah. Just talk about the truth by way of what is there in a moment, what is there, which are there as meeting together.
Well, when there's seeing, there's Jakku ayatana,
Chakhayatana in Pali,
Jakayatana, there's
and Rupa Yatana, the object.
Rupa yatana.
It's the object.
Okay, that's the colour, for
Yeah,
example.
right.
Yeah, and then
Visible
there's
object.
Man ayatana.
Manayatana is the seeing
the
itself.
seeing,
And Dhammayatana is Cetasika, 7 Cetasika, arising together.
So how many ayatana at the moment of seeing? 4. Ah, okay. Yeah, I was thinking 3. Yeah. I always get lost with ayatana
Because
a little bit. Yeah.
at that moment it doesn't need any
Yeah.
reality to be there at all. But it has to be peaceful
Okay.
together. Because this is the most important condition
Yes.
for Panya to grow. Not just to wish to experience it so well, so clear, arising from impossible. It's only natural life, normal life, because dhammas are there by conditions already. No need for anyone or anything to add it to be taken at all. Then this is the way it's so subtle, because even it's there as natural, as normal, it's not known. There must be memory right now, sanya cetasika, marks and remember what is what. Each word, sanya marks, remembers. That's the way Panya develops. By itself, in its own way, so subtle, because who knows that now it's the path. Panya in a moment is the path.
Yes.
That's why beginning to understand the virtues of the Buddha, get closer and closer until what is realized, no doubt about his understanding anymore, little by little. Not just the Buddha, the Lord, the Buddha and so on. What is meant by enlightenment and what is meant of Buddha, it means understanding Buddha, Buddha in Thai. Many words for Panya because there are many degrees of Panya. And this is intellectual understanding about the truth, while the truth now going on secretly.
If there's panya, what's the difference between the pariyatti panya and the patipati panya? It's still just panya, cetasika, right?
Different degrees.
Different degrees only.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes.
Otherwise, that
yeah.
wouldn't be the word vipassana
Yes, yes. Just
and
that's why
patipati,
it's just
satipatthana.
different degrees of panya.
For now, no doubt about the truth Dhamma, see. But what Dhamma is not known directly yet. At this moment, there's hardness appearing, no attention to it. Even at 10, it's not there. Even manasikara, cetasika is there. Attend to the object, but no awareness at level of higher level, satipatthana, directly understanding it.
But if there's the trying to be aware, trying to attend to it, that's the wrong way too.
That's
So it's
why
so
the
subtle.
path is so subtle.
Yes.
It has to be life, normal life, but Panya works secretly at moment of understanding only. So no one can do anything, just listen carefully, and even careful considering is not self, it's a cetasika. Each one in life is a cetasika, while citta is the chief of experiencing the object. And thinking, dreaming and dreaming with ignorance, on and on, endlessly, while Panya is not strong enough to let go, condition for life. Do you hear me? Little by little. the most important thing is the clear understanding of the word, like Dhamma, no doubt, all are Dhamma, but it's not known yet, because it's only intellectual understanding of what Buddha enlightened. So true. So what's born and what dies? Dhammas.
Just elements arising.